Hello, Sharks. I'm Brian.
And I'm Ani from Southern California, seeking $150,000 for 5% of our company. Sharks?
Oh, sorry, Sharks. No matter what we try to do to fix the bicycle seat, we still suffer from saddle soreness, even when we wear uncomfortable padded shorts like this.
Riding bikes should be fun. The outdoors, the fresh air, the breeze in your hair, or on your aerodynamic head. But even after a short ride,
biking hurts down there. It's the undercarriage calamity. It's the gear-shifting groin grinding. It's the pedal-powered private's pandemonium and pain.
They get it, Brian. Crotch pain is real. Traditional bike saddles put too much pressure on the nerves and arteries, restricting the blood flow to the genitals, which is why we created the Vseat, a revolutionary noseless and bumpless bicycle seat, ergonomically designed to support the sit bones for prolonged rides. The Vseat soft pad allows for unrestricted blood flow for both women and men.
And even though it's slightly pitched forward, the slip-resistant material will grip your tush the way you thought only your lover could. Sorry.
Installation is also as easy as adjusting the height of your seat.
Plus, it's ultra durable, it's lightweight, and you don't have to wear shorts that look like diapers.
Sharks, who wants to take a ride with us and save crotches around the world with the Vseat?
Ta-da!
We are back with another Shark Tank breakdown episode. I am your host, Dave, and I'm an almost 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from trademarks to copyrights and patents. Now, this I think is a good one. It's interesting because bike riding obviously has been around forever, but every time, and again, I'm no cyclist or no professional cyclist or anything by the stretch of the imagination, but I do ride, particularly for long periods, as she said, prolonged periods. Man, I don't care what type of seat I'd use, and I've used a number of seats. You always, it affects you down there as a man. I'm not sure how it is for the women. And women, please leave comments in the comment section on whether or not you guys have the same issue as this man. But definitely for a man, as you're kind of sitting on the seat for prolonged periods during a ride, man, it's only a matter of time before your genital area, your crotch area starts to get, I guess, irritated or it's uncomfortable, let's just say. And I have done jail seats, seats that are skinny, seats that are bigger. It's all the same thing. Now, this is interesting. Just looking at this as a patent attorney, I've definitely never seen anything like this. Typically, you have the seats that, again, it extends in one direction. So two things that caught my eye from the very start is one, looking at the picture and the fact that the seat kind of the end of the seat kind of folds down. That's not something that I have seen. But also, they said something about the slip resistance. So it seems like the top of the seat has some type of material that prevents or inhibits you from, kind of slipping off the seat, which is interesting. Like I said, I've never seen those two things. So from a patent perspective, it's definitely something that now I would imagine that they are looking to patent, but I guess let's hear about it. Let's see if the Sharks say anything about it, bring it up. I would imagine that they would bring it up on whether or not this technology is patented or this seat is patented. This is an interesting one, man. I'm kind of liking it. Now, the three things that I look for is how simple is it, how effective is it, and what's the market like? We all know that everybody or a ton of people bike ride. You have professional cyclists, people around the world bike ride, whether you're young, a kid, whether you're older, whether you're an adult, whether you are 50, 60 years old. That's one of the things that you can always do is bike ride. You may not be able to get on a football field anymore or get on a basketball court anymore. But when you're talking about trying to get a workout in, burn some calories, get a cardio workout in, cycling is the thing to do. So everybody can do it. So this, the market is pretty big. And like I said, I've seen a number of seats, but I've definitely haven't seen a seat like this. So that kind of gives me a little bit more, I like the fact that I haven't seen it. Let's just say that. And then it seems like it's pretty simple just by looking at it. We'll get off into the nuts and bolts or see if they talk about it as far as the nuts and the bolts and what makes it work. But it seems to be pretty simple. Again, a lot of people think that the more complex and the more cool, the more different functions something has, the better. And that's not always the case. What they say, kids, keep it simple. So it seems like it's simple just from looking at it. From an effectiveness standpoint, I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to look at the reviews on the website, which we will check out at the end of this video. It'd be interesting to check out the reviews to see how effective it is. Are they getting rave reviews? Another thing that can kind of let you know the effectiveness of it is the sales. If something is very effective, then the sales will be through the roof. So I'm sure the Shark, especially Mr. Wonderful, is going to ask about the sales. Have they sold anything? What the sales are looking like? So that's something that we can be able to kind of gauge effectiveness. And like I said, the market is there. It seems like it's simple. So if it's effective, they may have a winner on their hand, but that's enough of me talking. Let's get back to it and see what the Sharks think about it.
I'd like to try it.
Yes.
Go ahead and come up. We would also love Barbara to come up and
I
try
spend
it.
about an hour and a half every day on my bikes.
Evan, I would imagine
yet
he's
to find a seat.
stay at the late 50s.
So,
He's
Mr.
talking
Wonderful,
about
go ahead
an
and
hour and
sit
a half
on
now,
the
whether that's
traditional
true or not.
seat.
Then you
We're
got
gonna
the
have you take a couple
cyclist. I didn't even think about
revolutions.
that.
You're a cyclist, right?
Yes. I'm also concerned about my package.
For the
Okay.
inside.
This is very uncomfortable.
Okay.
All right, let's try the other.
Go ahead and come
I'm a
over
little
here.
worried about support here. I mean, that's the risk, right?
Absolutely. That is
I'll try
oftentimes
this. See
things.
what this
Okay.
is.
There you go.
Well.
What's it like, Kevin?
Yeah, how does it
It's
feel?
very package friendly. It's not constrained in any way. Your rumperino is well supported. I think it is better.
Yeah, off. I want to
Kevin,
try that
If you
one.
can get Kevin to go.
Do you feel solid on it?
Let's see what Barbara thinks.
Works.
Go ahead and take a couple revolutions.
Barb, what's it like?
It's great, and I'm so surprised because there's no cushioning, and yet it feels totally comfortable.
Does it feel better than the other one?
Oh, like light years better.
Oh, the
Terrific.
first one must
All
have been
right, wow.
conventional.
Well, thank you so much for
Oh,
trying it.
yep. You see
So
that?
tell us
doesn't
about
have
what it
the-
costs to make and what do you sell them for?
We sell it on our website for $119, and it costs
An expensive
$24
seat.
landed.
Great margins.
And how many of you sold? Tell us about the sales.
So we have sold so far over $300,000
Okay, over what period of time?
over 3 years.
Wow.
26,000 of that came last year, and this year we've sold a little over $270,000.
My gosh. what a sale.
270.
What happened was we started.
Again, they're going to do some explanation, but hey, I'm not liking this so far. $300,000 over a 3-year period. I'm thinking she's going to say over 3 months, maybe 2 months, heck, even half of a year. Like I said before, the effectiveness of something a lot of times can be looked at by or determined by the number of sales. Now, let's see if she has a valid excuse or a reason as for the low sales. You're talking about $100,000 in 3 years, which per year for 3 years. Now, no, it seems like the margins are great, but $120 for a seat. Let me know in the comments, audience. Would you pay $120 for a seat? If you're riding your bike a ton and a lot, I can see that. Maybe if this thing just working wonders like that, $120 may be a bargain. But I would imagine seats cost $20, $30 if you want to kind of put on a different seat for your bike. $120, it seems like can be expensive. I'm not sure if that's maybe the reason why it's not selling, or again, it's just maybe not as effective as we all may think. So let's hear the inventors, their explanations to see whether or not it's reasonable, and let's see ultimately if the Sharks buy it or not.
Advertising on Facebook
Man,
and
not
Instagram,
advertising. I don't like that
and it
answer.
just blew up from there.
What's your background and how did you come to create this?
This whole thing started when Ani told me that she doesn't want to desensitize her lady bits. I was shocked. As a trainer with over 20 years of experience, I knew that the traditional bike saddle was bad. I didn't know how bad until she pointed this out to me, and we knew something had to be done.
How about you, Ani?
My background is the American dream come true. I was adopted at 3 days old in Iran by an Armenian, wonderful Armenian family. Fast forward, I'm 12 years old, and the morality police in Iran wanted to take me to jail because a strand of my hair was visible through the hijab.
Whoa.
My mom begged for my life and saved my life. Excuse me. Shortly after, we decided to leave Iran. My parents left everything and we immigrated to the United States because they wanted to give me a better life and better opportunity. I went to school here. I got my degree in chemistry. I have a JD and an MBA. I worked for pharma and medical devices for years, but there was something missing in me. And it was the desire that I always had because my dad in Iran did something that improved people's lives. And right before my dad died, I told him that I want to do something better. And so in however small a way, the Vseat does that. It helps people live a healthier life and have more fun cycling. And if I can do it, a woman, an immigrant, anybody can. This dream is the American dream come true. So,
Man, I love that. And I want to bring it back on myself for a second. I think we all, especially in America, we take things for granted. Man, that's why everybody likes to not only come here as immigrants, but also likes to sell their products here, just because we have the freedoms to be able to buy things, be able to go and come as we choose for the most part, which is not shared in a lot of different countries. I mean, kudos to her for being able to make it as an immigrant from Iran to escape. Again, you're thinking about putting a 12-year-old in jail, in prison potentially for a strand of her hair. I mean, that's next level seriousness. But for her to be able to come here, and again, chemistry, JD, she can actually be a patent attorney with a chemistry undergrad. She did the JD MBA route, so she's more so doing business. And I would imagine with the medical devices, that is, she probably was doing patent work as a, with the chemistry, with the chemistry background and doing the medical devices. But man, kudos to her, JD MBA. So she was an attorney, most likely a patent attorney dealing with Inventors products, and something was still missing. And that led her to invent the seat. It seems like she didn't have a background in cycling. I'm saying all this to say that you don't have to be an expert or in the know of whatever it is, whatever like the area, the environment of your product. All you have to do is you're looking to solve a problem. And if you can solve a problem, get with the right people, kind of develop it, manufacture it, engineer it, and get a patent on it, then you will have a business. And it seems like that's what she did. So kudos to her, and let this be a lesson for everybody out there who is maybe thinking that, hey, I don't know what to do from a patent perspective. And it seems like she maybe kind of knew what to do from a patent perspective just because she sounds like she worked in it, if you read in between the lines, as I'm doing as a patent attorney. However, again, she said something was missing as a patent attorney and she wanted to do something more. It'll be interesting to see whether or not she's still working as an attorney while she's kind of developing and building a company. But nonetheless, she's doing something, building something that is going to be felt not only now for her, but for generations to come. And that's, again, as she said, that is the American dream. The fact that you can come here, that you can be anything that you want to be. She was an attorney, chemistry major, pretty sure successful, making a lot of money as a patent attorney, and still wanted to do something more and started a company for seats. So for bike seats. So again, American dream, kudos to her. Let that be a lesson to everybody out here watching in terms of the things that you can do here in America when you put your mind to it. And let's get back to it. Let go.
Now, did you get your patent or is it still pending?
not only one, we have 6
Nice.
6 patents.
Yes.
For what reason?
Are they utility and design?
Utility and design.
Ani, do you have your own money into this?
She's a patent attorney.
We actually invested our own savings into
How much money do you have in?
$500,000.
Wow.
So the big chains carry maybe
Kudos to her. She has 6 patents. And people, hey, you think of something and you're like, okay, maybe 1 patent. A lot of times when you have a product like this, man, it's a number of patents on that you can get on different features, different aspects of it, different embodiments of it. And kudos for her. Seems like she has multiple utility patents, multiple design patents, which that's a slept on thing as far as design patents that's protecting the ornamental feature of it. As you could tell, kind of based on the 2 bikes, that typical bike seat is kind of, is essentially horizontal, whereas theirs has this kind of flap that extends downward at the front of it. And, that in and of itself is a different ornamental feature that can be the subject of a design patent, not a utility patent, but also a design patent. So kudos for her. Like I said, she hasn't said it yet, but it seems like she's in a patent field, and, kudos for her for protecting the IP. Lori, it seems like Lori is always the first one that asks whether or not you have a patent on it. So kudos for her for having 6 patents, 500,000, man, that's a ton of money on this thing. So let's hear the story behind that, because I'm sure they're going to ask. Let's go.
5 or 6 different seats, because the bike shop business is where a lot of this happens. And this is the retrofit market you're servicing right now. I already own the bike. I would swap out my seat. But there's a massive market of bikes being created every day with new seats on them. You can't get that market unless you get distribution.
Well, unless you OEM it.
Yeah, why don't they license it?
Well, I'm getting there. I mean, which way do you want to go? Do you want to sell it yourself to the store?
not mutually
or go to the
exclusive.
manufacturer right now that already has the distribution because you have the patents and cut a license
Why not?
deal?
Why
you
can't you
done
do
that, Annie?
both?
No, we have not done that yet.
Why?
What?
Why?
With a new product like this and a new design that's coming out to the market, we have to be on the front lines, talking to our customers and telling them that this is going to work.
What about going to a manufacturer? Are you against that or are you for it?
We're not against that,
I
no.
would do both.
Can this become a big business, direct to consumer, or is the only path here to get to scale
Oh, if it's a
to
retrofit.
OEM it with bikes and get them to put it on?
I think we can do both.
Absolutely.
So I have a company, Shark Tank company, Guardian Bikes.
Yes.
And they have sure stop technology so you don't go over the handlebars. And when we first started working together, I thought, perfect sense. Let's OEM because every manufacturer is going to want to improve the safety of their bike.
Right.
And not even close. The margins on bikes are so razor thin, they wouldn't even entertain
That makes
adding
sense.
any type of cost to the bike. I don't think the market's quite as big as we think it is. So for those reasons, I'm out.
Okay. He has experience.
There's a
so-
lot of work here, particularly if you want to do the OEM deal. It's a long, long process. But because you have patents, you may want to go down that journey. I'll do the 150 for 20%.
Thank you for that offer.
Annie, I mean, I'm the sporty shark. You two are the real deal.
Thank you.
I mean, I love your background. You may know my
Dang, 150 for
dad
20?
escaped the communist country. We came here with nothing.
On a bicycle.
On a bicycle. But you know, I think the one thing, they always make fun of me, but I think the one thing as an immigrant, I'm so grateful for the opportunity in
Yes.
this country.
Absolutely.
Honestly, every day I wake up just so grateful. And then there's people like Kevin who are not grateful. That's a crazy offer.
Let's take
It's
it.
better than no offer.
Okay, so here's my offer.
Get back to it.
From Kevin for Vseat, their bicycle seat designed for comfort. But Robert is also interested.
Look, there is a lot of work with this. You've convinced me the path is direct to consumer for the next 2 to 3 years.
Mhm.
I think if it works, the manufacturers will come to us. I'll give you the 150,000 for
15%.
15%. I think that's a fair valuation.
Okay.
That's my offer.
So, guys, I have to tell you, I think what works against it, it doesn't look comfortable. And I think that's going to be a hard sell. Well, I'm not worried about that, but I do wish you luck, and I am out.
Wow.
I think it's amazing that you have gotten so many patents that the two
Lord,
of
he
you just
loves
put
the
your
pass.
minds
He's a
together.
pack.
And
I would start calling
there's
him.
nothing more fun than knowing that you've created something that will make the world a better place and bring people joy. But you have two great offers here, so I will let you pay attention and focus on them, and I'll go out.
Okay.
Annie, I made you a better
Yes.
offer than Kevin. Should I take my offer
Well,
up to
I don't
match
know if
150
that's
to
Kevin?
a better
10 counter.
Should I go up to 20%?
Thank you.
Robert, will you consider 12.5%?
I like that.
I will not.
Ooh.
I think, made a better offer than Kevin. I feel that's a fair valuation.
Okay.
I'm going to stick at 15%.
Well, the only thing better than one shark is two sharks. Would you guys consider?
In order to do that, even if we were to consider it, I don't get out of bed for less than 10%. So
I'll go in with Kevin on it, but
150
I
for
think
20,
for two of
200
us,
for 20.
it would have to be 25%
Wow.
for 150,000.
That's a worse
I'll do
offer.
that deal.
Would you do that deal for double the money?
Not double.
No.
Robert, what about giving him 200K for 25?
I do that deal.
Can we just talk to each other
Yeah.
I
for a
wouldn't
second?
wait too
Uh-oh.
long on that.
Uh-oh. 25% for 200. I'll do the 150 for 15.
Yes.
And they got two sharks, so kudos to them. Kudos to them. And let this be a lesson. We're going to go check out their website, but let this be a lesson. Again, like I said, bikes have been around forever, and you would think that all the assets and the nooks and crannies of the bike has been designed, has been patented, but they have came out with, like I said, I know for a fact the seat on a bike is uncomfortable, and the fact that they are providing a solution to the extent that it has garnered 6 patents, something that's completely different from what you have seen. Man, it goes to show you that everything is still a lot of juice to be squeezed out of everyday life and the products and things like that, that people can start businesses around, develop businesses around, develop products around that are new, that are non-obvious, that are revolutionary. So I wanted to point that out because, again, a lot of people will look at the bike seat and say, okay, where can I go with this thing? But again, solving a solution to a problem, and the solution happens to be, I'm not sure how effective it is, but at least it's definitely different from what's out there. At least according to Barbara and Mr. Wonderful Kevin, it seems like it definitely feels better based on their limited riding of the bike. But man, I love it. And again, I do also love the fact that these can be used not only with bikes that you ride outside, but also stationary bikes, which we know there's a ton of gyms around here. And the extent that you can get gyms or whatnot to have, a couple bikes that are, have this Vseat on it, man, it can be something. So kudos to them. And what Jay-Z say was better than 1 billionaire too. So good stuff. Let's take a look at their website. I typically like to see the IP, especially on the front page. Now, interestingly enough, Vseat, you can't see it, and it was tough to see it when you're on the Shark Tank screen, but it is a registered trademark. You see the R in a circle, which lets me know it's a registered trademark. They also have another trademark. So these people are protecting their IP. Like I said, she didn't say it, but I think she's a patent attorney with a chemistry background and then a JD, which is a law degree. They also have a trademark on the phrase "sit on it," which is pretty cool. Again, they're definitely protecting their IP. I would probably have this bigger, or at least the R in the circle a little bigger to let people know that. So here it is right here on the top in the red banner VC. You see the R there, but they also have it here. So it's good that they're protecting, or they're letting you know that they're protecting their IP. VC you see here plastered in the R. This is how I like to see it. Anytime you have the brand name, man, I want to see that R in the circle, especially if it's a registered trademark. To the extent that it's not registered, I want to see the TM, which lets people know, hey, it's not registered yet, but we're using it in a trademark seat. Seems like it's endorsed by some doctors, which is cool. What they say, the ideal bike seat for your health. Your genitals will thank you later. I like that quote. 6 patents, they said. So we know they have patents on it. I'm not sure if that's Barbara, but it definitely is a Barb. I'm not seeing it at the bottom though, or anywhere on that. I mean, I love to see that you have at least the patent numbers or patent issues, something letting the public know that you have issued patents, you're protecting your IP, protecting your patents on the website. Is typically seen at the bottom. I'm not seeing that, which I would like to see that as a patent attorney. Let's see if we can. I'm not seeing it. Let's see to the press skip. Kind of clicking through a couple different tabs to see if they have them on there. Okay, here we go. Patent and medical study. So I would like to see this on the front end, on a home page, or at least the link so you can go see the patents on it. And I also would like to probably see this a little better. Just maybe a table or a chart that shows the patents. It seems like you have a design patent, you have a utility patent, CA, that's a Canadian patent. Seems like you have some Canadian patents, maybe some design patents as well. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so USD is US design, CA is Canadian patent, US is a US patent. Seems like they have a design, I would imagine, as well as a Canadian utility in Canada. You have a couple different utilities in the US. You have a Australia patent, which is interesting. I would imagine there's a lot of bikes being ridden in Australia, and that's the reason why. And I'm not sure what this is. And some studies. So I mean, this is good. They at least have it on their website. I would like to see that on the homepage so people can easily access it and see kind of what you have going on. And again, as opposed to sending doing the links, I would prefer just put them in a I mean, you can have the link, but do it a little better where you have the patent number, you have like a hyperlink so you can click on the patent number and get taken to whatever this leads to, as opposed to just putting. I just don't think it kind of comes off that clean, but whatever. They're protecting it, which is the important thing. So let's stop sharing. Let me know what you guys think about it, man. It seems like they got 2 sharks now. They gave up a quarter of the company, but Rob seems like he's all on board, and Kevin, hey, anytime he feel like he can make money, he's going to be in it. So it seems like Lori would have been in it, but it probably would have been that less. The deal wouldn't have been better at what the guys got already, or what the 2 business owners got already. It seems like Barbara, she was interested, but I guess for whatever reason she didn't like the fact that it didn't look appealing. And then Mark, he seems like he had a bike company, or dealing with a bike, investing in a bike company, and he thought that going to the OEMs was going to be tough. But again, I like the fact that they're protecting their IP. They got some deals. I'll try to get them on the show to kind of at least kind of talk about their journey. And I would believe that the woman, she is a patent attorney. But no, let me know your guys' thought in the comment section. This was a good one, man. This was a good one. Seemed like it was simple. The effectiveness, I think, it still remains to be seen. And I don't know. I probably disagree with Mark, even though he has experience with owning a company. I feel like that bike market, especially going to direct to consumer, it's something that has some, it's big enough to the point where we can make some money, which obviously Rob and Kevin thought. So until next time, see you guys later. Take care.